The restaurant lights were soft and golden, but the laughter from the corner table cut through like glass. "You don't even look like your picture," the man said, loud enough for half the cafe to hear. Across from him, a young woman sat frozen, cheeks burning, eyes glossy. Her name was Leah. She'd spent an hour getting ready, carefully choosing her floral dress, the one that made her feel beautiful. But now, under the weight of his disgust, she felt smaller with every passing second. He leaned back, crossing his arms. "Sorry, I don't date girls who can't control themselves." This was a mistake. He tossed his napkin on the table and walked out. The door closed behind him, leaving a silence that felt like humiliation wrapped in glass. The people nearby tried not to look. But they did. They always do. Leah forced a smile, pretending she didn't care, but her trembling hands gave her away. She reached for her purse, trying to disappear before her tears betrayed her. That's when a small voice broke the tension, a child's voice. "Daddy, why is that lady sad?" At the next table sat a man in his mid-30s, broad-shouldered, calm, and thoughtful, with a little girl beside him clutching a teddy bear. The man, Daniel, looked up from his meal. His daughter's question made him glance toward Leah, and what he saw twisted something deep in his chest. He'd seen that look before, in the mirror, years ago, when his wife left him because he wasn't ambitious enough. Leah stood up to leave, her eyes fixed on the floor. But Daniel's daughter tugged at his sleeve. "Daddy, can we talk to her?" she whispered. Daniel hesitated, then stood. "Excuse me," he said gently, stepping closer. "Sorry to interrupt, but you shouldn't let that guy make you feel like you're less. He clearly doesn't know what he's looking for." Leah blinked, startled. No one had ever stood up for her in public before, not once. She tried to laugh it off, but her voice cracked. "It's fine. I guess I just have bad luck." "Or maybe," Daniel said, with a soft smile, "you've been meeting the wrong kind of people." His daughter peeked from behind his leg and waved. "Hi. I like your dress." That small, innocent comment undid Leah completely. The tears she'd been holding back slipped free, and Daniel pulled out a chair. "Sit with us," he offered. "If you want." Leah hesitated, then sat down. What started as an awkward attempt to save her from embarrassment turned into a quiet, unexpected evening. They talked, about work, about life, about how people pretend not to judge but always do. Leah confessed how tired she was of being overlooked, how she'd lost 60 pounds but still couldn't lose the shame that came with every stare. Daniel listened without flinching. "You know," he said, stirring his coffee, "after my wife left, I thought something was wrong with me. Took me years to realize people's opinions aren't mirrors, they're just noise." By the time the cafe was closing, Leah was laughing again. The little girl had fallen asleep with her head on Leah's lap, and Daniel just sat there, watching the peace return to Leah's eyes. "Before leaving," he said, "if it's not too forward, maybe next time, we skip the blind date apps and just meet here again, same table?" Leah smiled for the first time that night. "I'd like that." A few weeks passed. Leah found herself visiting that same cafe often. Sometimes Daniel was already there with his daughter, drawing on napkins. Sometimes she arrived first and saved their favorite corner table. Each meeting felt easier, warmer, like something broken was quietly healing. One afternoon, as they laughed over shared fries, the man from the failed blind date walked in. His eyes widened when he saw Leah, radiant, confident, laughing with a man who clearly admired her. He froze, then awkwardly approached. "Leah? Wow, you look different." Leah turned, calm but firm. "No," she said. "I just stopped apologizing for being myself." Daniel's little girl grinned and whispered, "Daddy, she sounds brave." Daniel smiled. "That's because she is." The man mumbled an excuse and walked away. Leah turned back to Daniel, heart racing, but this time, not from shame. From freedom, weeks turned into months. Daniel and Leah's friendship deepened into something neither of them expected. His daughter adored Leah, and Leah finally saw herself through the eyes of people who loved her without condition. One evening, Daniel took her hand under the same golden light where it all began. "You know," he said softly, "that night when I saw you sitting alone. I thought I was helping you. But truth is, you helped me. You reminded me that kindness still changes things." Leah smiled through tears. "And you reminded me that love doesn't measure, it sees." Outside, the city hummed as if the world itself had paused to listen. Somewhere between heartbreak and healing, two quiet souls had found home in each other, and for anyone watching, anyone who's ever been rejected, humiliated, or told they're not enough, Leah's story whispered the truth. Daniel once said, "People's opinions aren't mirrors. They're just noise, because the right person won't see what's wrong with you. They'll see everything that's right, and stay."